Hey everybody, welcome back to Trinity Dairy. Don't forget to like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and check out our merch store. We'll have a link in the description for that. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Today is May 19th, 2023. It's a nice day. It's kind of cold today, kind of a cold wind blowing. It's not really a good corn growing day, but we don't have that in the ground yet, so it should be good for our oats, help keep a little moisture in the ground to get them going. Show you what I picked up here today. I picked up a rock picker. I didn't buy this, we're just renting it. But I would like to have one someday maybe, but we'll see how it works, I guess, first. So I've never used one of these before. I've seen videos of them working and it seems like they work pretty well. I have operated one with a friend of mine. He had his was a totally different style than this. The rake was separate from the picker and that worked pretty well. So we'll see how this does. But for those of you who don't know, what this has a rake and a picker. It's all in one unit here. So this is your rake. There's big teeth on this, and that spins and it kicks the rocks into that drum, and that drum turns when you set it down. It rides on the ground and it turns, and the rocks go up the back and it knocks the dirt out of them through these bars, and it kicks them over into this tub here. And then when that tub is full, then that hydraulically it dumps up and dumps out. And my hope is, I don't know how high, this one's supposed to lift pretty high, so I'm hoping it'll dump right into my dump truck, so we can kind of, you know, dump a few of these in there and just kind of keep the picker moving. And I think I've got probably, I don't know, the whole piece the field that I'm going to pick on is about 17 or 18 acres. It doesn't all need to be picked. Some of it's really sandy, so I don't know, there's maybe 12, 14 acres, something like that. But we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to get started with this tomorrow. What I'm going to do right now is head up there, because you want the soil nice and loose to get the rocks raked up. So you don't want to be trying to bust up the dirt with that thing. Just use it for sucking the rocks in. So I did about half of the field last night or the night before, I think, with the field cultivator. So I'm going to go up there now and see if we can get the... All right, we got the 10 fired up with the field cultivator on. Now this is what I've already worked, and this is what I haven't done yet. I've been running kind of kitty corner on this to try to work the stalks in a little bit better. Because the guy I rented it from, he told me that if you get a lot of stock in there, it'll kind of want to plug up. So try to work them in as good as you can, and it seems like maybe that's working these in a little bit better. But I don't know how well it shows up, but you can tell up here it's pretty rocky. You can see even here it's very rocky, and I know a lot of these really small ones, obviously that picker's not going to pick up, but a lot of them this size, you know, they're softball size, a little bit bigger. That's the majority of what's up here, and this whole end of the field is pretty much like that. Up this whole knob here, pretty much this, like I said, pretty much this whole thing over in that corner is all sand. I'm not too worried about that corner. There might be one or two rocks, but those can be picked by hand. But this, like I said in the earlier video, last year I had a lot of bare spots in these rocky patches, and I think that it was just getting where the planter wouldn't cover them anymore. And the last few years, we used to always moldboard plow corn stubble or disc it, and that didn't bring up nearly the rock. That plow would just kind of, it would go down a little bit, enough to grab some dirt, and that was about it. Once I started using the field cultivator, that vibrates down in there and it really shakes the rocks up. I mean, you can see here in the corn stubble that's standing how patchy it is. This whole hillside is just, it's all rock, and it, you know, probably half the corn that was planted here came up, and that's not good. So we got to get the rocks out of here. So anyway, I'm going to let that tractor warm up a bit, and we'll see if we can finish this tonight. I'm hoping to. Like I said, I think it's about half done. It doesn't take too long. That's cultivator is like 28 feet, I think, 30 feet somewhere in there, so you can make a pretty good pass. But getting to the end. A few more passes and I'll be done. This end of the field here, this is the end. If I get nothing else picked, this probably 5 acres on this end, if this all I get picked would make a world of difference. Because I mean, this, to pick this by hand would take forever. And I guess this spot here is my main reason for it, because I mean, there's a patch right here where there wasn't even any corn that came up hardly. So it's definitely rocky. It'll be interesting to see how many loads of rock come off of here. So I'm trying to dig this up as deep as I can to get them worked up loose. You can see where I've gone. These are probably the perfect size for that picker. Something like this. They should pluck out of there pretty nice. But yeah, there's plenty of rock up at this end. And this field, as far as my corn, I've got custom pumpers coming to pump the lagoon this spring again. And with wet spring, some of the places they were running a little bit behind. So they're supposed to still be here sometime the end of this month. So he didn't figure it'd get into June. But I'm not going to put any corn in on these pieces until I get that on here. So that kind of depends on when they get here. But I want to get the rocks picked before we get manure on it. So anyway, I'll finish up and we'll head back. Well, that wasn't good. Blew a rear tire on the tractor, which I know these tires are getting pretty rough anyway. At first I thought maybe I picked up a deer antler, but I think it's just a crack that opened up. So we are gonna have to figure out a different horse on this to get this finished up, but that probably won't happen tonight. So I'll get this moved out of the way and figure something else out tomorrow. All right, well, we got the tractor off the cultivator. I got it limped over to the side of the field, so that can just sit there till we get a tire wrangled up and get that fixed. I'm sure that's going to be a little while off now by the time I can get somebody out here to do it and whatnot. And got plenty of other stuff rolling too. So right now I got to try to find a tractor that I can put on this cultivator to just get this finished up. I could put the 1256 on there and probably get it finished. Maybe not quite dig it as deep or go a little bit slower gear, but I don't know. I don't really have the right drawbar, because you got to have the strap on there for this drawbar, the way it pins in, and that's just got a standard drawbar on it. So I'm not sure if I could make a hammer strap for that one or not. Otherwise I might be able to borrow a buddy of mine's 2+2 or something and just get this finished up. We'll see what happens there. Otherwise I could come up here with the disc on the 12 and try to disc the rest of this and see what that does. I'm not sure how that'll work, just because it's so rocky. Sometimes the disc just kind of floats over on the rocks. But anyway, so I'm gonna head back now, see what's going on at home. They're finishing up chores, I think. So we'll go from there, see what tomorrow brings. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the next day now. We're up here in the field again. You can see I got a different horse hooked on my buggy here. We'll see if this is gonna work. I didn't put the duals on here. Kind of a big job to put those on, and I'm gonna have to take them right back off. So we'll try it like this. And then I'm gonna see how this goes to start with. I only got a couple acres to finish up here, so that's why I'm just trying this. I can unhook the spike tooth and just pull this and not pull the spike tooth. We'll try it all together first to see how it goes. If it still winds up being too much load with just this, I'll fold the wings up and we'll just finish off with the center section on there. So I think it'll, one way or the other, it'll work. The only thing that I've got with hooking this up, it's not really how I wanted to do it. I'm hoping it works all right, but I got this big clevice on here, hooking it to the tractor, and I don't really like doing that with a clevice. I've pulled that big plow with this tractor with that clevice before. When it's in the ground, it works all right, but if you get it out of the ground, it wants to slam side to side pretty bad. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. Just enough to get this done is all we're trying to do, so we'll get some video and see how this tractor handles it.
This is the field that Alan's gonna plow up and put in corn, but right now it's still grassy and the grass was going pretty good. So I figure we'll let the cows come out here and graze it off before we get it plowed. Hey, Claire. Hey, Twist.
Hey everybody, we're back up here at the field. It's May 25th. Wrapping up the rock picking for now. I got this whole end here done, or pretty much done. I could probably still pick more off of here, but we didn't wind up doing the whole field. I went around and did some of the rockier patches. There's still some more spots I could have hit, but we've picked total about 16 hours. I figured that we used the picker, not in a row, but that's the amount of time roughly that we had on it. So it did a good job. This end up here was terrible. I mean, it was just solid. There was places I had to go over 2 or 3 times because there was so much rock that the rake on the picker was actually kicking a lot of it over the back, even when I was going real slow. So we'll run up and look at the other end there where I picked, and then we'll go back and see the pile. All right, we're up here at the other end. We got this picked. Down over in that corner was pretty sandy, so I didn't even pick that. Up in here, there could have been a lot picked there yet, but that probably would have been another day's worth of picking. And we got to get going on other stuff here now. Plus, I know the place I got the picker from, they've got some ground they need to pick too, so I want to get that back to them. And yeah, like I said, we'll go back and look at the pile, but we dumped many truckloads of rock off of here. Well, here's our pile. I don't know how well it shows up on here. I didn't count as we were hauling, but I tried to kind of count now. I think there's about 18 of my dump truck loads dumped here. Plus there's probably about 5 dump truck loads that didn't go on this pile. So a couple of them went to fill in some low spots in the roads, and some of it I just dumped along the edges of the field while I was waiting for Paul to get back with the truck. But some of them got a few corn stalks. Some of them picked really clean, depending on where we were at. But that's way more than we would have picked by hand in 2 days. I can guarantee you that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.